Yeah, I mean, I believe it's his 8th year in the league. His resume speaks for itself. He is a top player in this league, both ends of the floor, dynamic in every sense of the word. I think he won Clutch Player of the Year 2 years ago. Might be off by a year or so.
The San Antonio Spurs just dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the entire NBA landscape. At just 38 years old, Mitch Johnson has officially taken the reins from basketball coaching royalty, the legendary Greg Popovich. But what nobody saw coming was the bold promise Johnson made during his first press conference that has both analysts and fans questioning if he's already lost his mind, or if he's about to revolutionize basketball as we know it. The whispers started the moment Popovich's health concerns forced him to step away. Everyone knew someone would have to fill the largest shoes in basketball, but nobody expected this. Mitch Johnson, a relative unknown outside of San Antonio basketball circles, just made a statement that has the entire league talking. The era of Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and traditional basketball is over. We're about to witness something the NBA has never seen before. Those words weren't just bold. They were a declaration of war against everything the Spurs had been since 1996. At 38, Mitch Johnson faces the impossible, inheriting a dynasty, 5 championships, 22 straight winning seasons, replacing the NBA's winningest coach ever. Most would buckle under such pressure. Johnson's already promising to demolish everything Popovich built. This isn't some outsider hired to shake things up. Johnson's been Popovich's protege for a decade, replacing Tim Duncan in 2020, stepping in as interim coach multiple times. He mastered the system from the inside. That's what makes his revolution terrifying. Revolution begins now. Johnson's future protocol is already reality. Wemby, as a 7-foot, 4-point guard? Yes. Jokic meets Curry on steroids. The legendary Spurs motion offense? Dead. Chaos theory replaces it. Constant movement, no positions. Players learning systems their own teammates can't predict yet. Neuroplastic optimization practices, mind-bending brain rewiring sessions over physical training. Barkley, either genius incarnate or dynasty annihilation. Woj, league executives are terrified. If this works, basketball as we know it dies. Christie, I lived the Spurs way. This is either brilliant madness or pure suicide. The NBA trembles. Traditional wisdom crumbles. Johnson isn't iterating. He's obliterating everything Pop built. In San Antonio, basketball's soul hangs in the balance. But here's the real kicker. Johnson isn't just fighting against tradition. He's fighting against a clock. With Popovich watching from the front office, every move will be scrutinized. Every loss will be blamed on abandoning the right way to play basketball. And with Victor Wembanyama's recent blood clot scare, the margin for error has completely evaporated. Johnson knows this. During a private meeting with his staff, sources say he declared, I'm either going to revolutionize this game or I'm going to crash and burn spectacularly. But I guarantee you one thing we will never be boring. In an exclusive interview with our sources, Johnson revealed something that will change how you view the entire NBA season. People think the Spurs missed the playoffs for the first time since 2017. They think we're rebuilding. They think we're years away from competing. I'm telling you now, we're winning the West this season. Not making the playoffs, winning the conference. And we're doing it with a style of basketball that will make every other team obsolete. Here's what Johnson's chaos theory looks like in practice. 5 players who can all shoot from anywhere, no set positions during plays, constant motion that confuses defensive assignments, an offense that reads and reacts faster than any defensive scheme can adjust. Wembanyama as a positionless disruptor who creates mismatches everywhere. NBA analytics departments are already calling it mathematically improbable. But Johnson has data of his own. During closed practices, his system has posted offensive ratings that would shatter NBA records. Whether it translates to real games remains the million-dollar question. If Johnson succeeds, every NBA team will need to reimagine their approach. Traditional basketball positions could become obsolete. The next generation of coaches will follow his blueprint. The Spurs maintain their dynasty status. If Johnson fails, the Spurs could suffer their worst season in franchise history. Popovich's legacy could be tarnished by association. Organizations might become more conservative, not less. NBA basketball continues on its current trajectory. What makes this story absolutely fascinating is the generational divide it represents. Johnson isn't just succeeding Popovich, he's reacting against everything Popovich stood for. Popovich, basketball is simple, execute the fundamentals perfectly. Johnson, basketball is chaos, master the unpredictable. Popovich, win through discipline and team-first mentality. Johnson, win through creativity and individual excellence. Popovich, respect the game's traditions. Johnson, destroy the game's limitations. Other teams are already reacting. The Miami Heat have reportedly started implementing elements of chaos in practice. The Boston Celtics coaching staff has held emergency meetings to prepare for Johnson's system. Even LeBron James tweeted, "The future just arrived in San Antonio." But here's the twist. League insiders report that Popovich himself might be the biggest supporter of Johnson's revolution. Sources close to the Spurs front office claim Popovich privately told Johnson, "I spent 29 years doing it my way. Now burn it all down and build something better." May 2025, Johnson officially named head coach. June-July, complete roster overhaul expected. October, season opener against defending champion Boston Celtics. December, first major test, road trip against Western Conference elites. March, mid-season evaluation by Popovich. April, playoffs or bust. This all comes down to Victor Wembanyama. Johnson has reportedly told his superstar, "I'm not asking you to be the next Tim Duncan. I'm asking you to be something basketball has never seen." Wembanyama's response, "I've been waiting my whole life for someone to say that." But with Wembanyama's recent blood clot scare, health concerns loom large over every decision. Johnson must balance innovation with player safety, a tightrope walk that could make or break his tenure. Whether Mitch Johnson is a visionary or a madman remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the NBA will never be the same. In a league obsessed with innovation, Johnson isn't just pushing boundaries, he's obliterating them entirely. As the 2025-26 season approaches, all eyes will be on San Antonio. Will Johnson's revolution succeed where so many others have failed? Will the Spurs continue their legacy of excellence under radical new leadership? Or will we witness the spectacular implosion of one of sports' greatest franchises? The countdown has begun, the NBA holds its breath, and somewhere in San Antonio, Mitch Johnson is either writing basketball history or rewriting it entirely. One thing is absolutely clear, the era of predictable basketball is over. Whether you love him or hate him, Mitch Johnson has just forced the entire NBA to choose, evolve, or become extinct. And that decision alone might be his greatest contribution to the game. The Spurs may have just hired the youngest head coach in the league, but Mitch Johnson's ideas are older than basketball itself. Innovation over tradition, chaos over order, future over past. Basketball will never be the same again. And that's exactly what Mitch Johnson is counting on.
There was also this. There was Dylan Brooks and Jimmy Butler. Deep in conversation.
So you're a bum, I've been busting your ass for years.
And this was Jimmy talking about those two.
The Golden State Warriors were on the verge of advancing to the second round, but the Houston Rockets had other plans. In Game 5 turnaround, the Warriors' championship hopes hit a roadblock as Jimmy Butler delivered his worst playoff performance since joining the team. Despite the 131-116 defeat, Butler's post-game message reveals a surprising level of confidence. After dominating Game 4 with a memorable performance, Butler struggled significantly in Game 5, finishing with just 8 points on 2 for 10 shooting in the 131-116 defeat. This dramatic drop in production comes after his heroic 27-point performance in Game 4, raising questions about his injury status and the team's ability to close out the series. Following this disappointing loss, Butler didn't shy away from addressing the media. He sent a clear message ahead of Game 6. "We're fine. Our confidence isn't going to waver. We're going to start out better and play a better overall game." This straightforward statement reveals Butler's mindset as the series shifts back to San Francisco for a critical Game 6. Butler sustained the pelvic contusion after playing only 8 minutes in last Wednesday's Game 2 loss and subsequently missed Saturday's Game 3 victory. His return in Game 4 on Monday, April 28th, was spectacular. Despite still dealing with pain, Butler posted 27 points on 7 of 12 shooting, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1 block in 40 minutes of action. His teammate Draymond Green highlighted Butler's toughness, stating, "He couldn't move in the first 3 quarters. I don't know how he started moving in the last one, but he didn't complain once. He kept battling." Coach Steve Kerr was equally impressed, acknowledging that in the regular season, the player would probably have been out for another week or more. But these are the playoffs, and he's Jimmy Butler. This is what he does. Kerr specifically praised Butler's clutch plays. The final rebound was incredible. The elevation, the strength, and then the free throws. Jimmy was simply spectacular. Butler himself explained his determination to play through pain. "More than anything, I just wanted to play. This is the best time of year. That's why you go through all that you go through. I don't like missing games, but I'm back now, and in a great way." He added that it was time to win, and celebrated that he started to move a little better towards the end of that game. This makes his Game 5 performance on April 30th all the more surprising. While Butler struggled, the Warriors' offense as a whole faltered. Stephen Curry scored just 13 points on 4 for 12 shooting. The team's leading scorer was actually Moses Moody, who came off the bench to contribute 25 points. Kevin Knox II added 14 points as a reserve, and Pat Spencer scored 11 points before being ejected late in the contest. Meanwhile, the Rockets saw several players deliver standout performances. Fred VanVleet led the way with 26 points on efficient 8 for 13 shooting. Amen Thompson scored 25 points. Dylan Brooks added 24 points, and Alperen Sengun contributed 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. The contrast between Butler's Game 4 heroics and Game 5 struggles highlights the unpredictable nature of playoff basketball. What makes this storyline particularly compelling is Butler's impact on the Warriors since his arrival. Prior to the trade, the Warriors were clinging to a .500 record at 25-25. Since he played in his first game, the Warriors have gone 26-9 when he is on the court. The statistical impact is equally impressive. With Butler playing, the Warriors have established themselves as a championship-caliber team, boasting the number 1 defense, number 8 offense, and number 3 net rating in the league. In this series specifically, prior to Game 5, Butler was averaging 18.3 points, 4.7 rebounds, 4.0 assists, and 1.7 steals per game, while shooting an efficient 54.5% from the field and 50.0% from 3. The partnership between Butler and Curry has been particularly effective, with the Warriors posting a 25-6 record when both stars share the court. This dynamic duo, along with veteran leader Draymond Green, has given the Warriors legitimate championship aspirations once again. Now, all eyes turn to Game 6 in San Francisco on Friday evening. The Warriors will be eager to avoid a potential Game 7 back in Houston, which would put enormous pressure on the team. To close out the series, Butler, Curry, and the rest of the Warriors will need to regain their offensive efficiency and aggressive approach that was lacking in Game 5. Despite the setback, Butler's confident statement suggests the team isn't panicking. His leadership and resilience have been crucial factors in the Warriors' success this season, and they'll be counting on playoff Jimmy to deliver when it matters most. The Warriors' ability to bounce back from this disappointing loss will not only determine the outcome of this series, but could also set the tone for their potential second-round matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who currently hold a 3-1 lead in their series against the Los Angeles Lakers. It's worth noting that this isn't the first time Butler has faced playoff adversity. Throughout his career with the Chicago Bulls, Minnesota Timberwolves, Philadelphia 76ers, and most recently the Miami Heat, Butler has developed a reputation for elevating his play when facing elimination. During his tenure with the Heat, he led multiple comeback performances in high-pressure situations, earning the nickname Playoff Jimmy for his clutch performances. The Warriors organization acquired Butler precisely for these moments. His midseason trade represented a significant gamble by the front office, moving away from their homegrown talent development model to bring in an established star with championship experience. The results have largely justified this decision, with the team's dramatic improvement in the standings and their strong showing in this first-round series prior to Game 5. For the Rockets, forcing a Game 6 represents a significant achievement for a young team that many analysts didn't expect to make the playoffs. Their second-seed finish in the Western Conference surprised many observers, and their resilience in this series demonstrates their potential as a future contender. Fred VanVleet's veteran leadership has proven valuable alongside the emerging talents of Amen Thompson and Alperen Sengun. Looking ahead to Game 6, the Chase Center crowd will undoubtedly create a thunderous atmosphere as they hope to witness their team advance to the second round. Historical playoff data shows that teams leading 3-2 with home court advantage for Game 6 win the series approximately 85% of the time, giving the Warriors favorable odds despite their recent setback. So, what's your prediction for Game 6? Will Jimmy Butler and the Warriors close out the series at home, or will the Rockets force a decisive Game 7? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more NBA playoff coverage. This is shaping up to be an exciting conclusion to what has already been a thrilling first-round series.
Time, ball fake. Only 6 to shoot. Curry. Oh, Curry! He hit that from the Woodlands. Bro. Shot clock down to 7. Butler on Sengun. Sizes him up. Jimmy, sidestep jumper. Good! Oh, Jimmy buckets! 41 minutes, and he still has the legs to rise.
All that pressure is right up on you at half court. You use your quickness and blow by him.
They knock it away. Butler's ahead of the pack. Butler puts it down.
Game 1 between the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets wasn't just another playoff matchup. It was basketball theater at its finest. The number 7 seed Warriors faced the number 2 seed Rockets as slight underdogs, but Golden State had other plans. They were determined to draw first blood in this series, regardless of what the odds suggested. Jimmy Butler, making his Warriors playoff debut, embodied this fighting spirit. The 6-time All-Star showed from the opening tip that he wasn't intimidated by the hostile Houston environment. Butler's confidence grew with each basket, connecting on 6 of 10 field goal attempts through the first 3 quarters. With 7:30 remaining in the third quarter, Butler did something that instantly became the talk of NBA Twitter. Already feeling himself after a strong performance, Butler pulled up from beyond the arc and drained his first triple of the evening. The shot pushed Golden State's lead to a commanding 20 points. What happened next captured the essence of playoff intensity. Butler immediately turned toward the broadcast table, locked eyes with NBA legend Reggie Miller, and pointed directly at him. TNT's Kevin Harlan, ever the professional, caught the interaction in real time.
VanVleet fighting through it, and Butler's got it. Thompson picks up Butler. It's a 3. Butler puts it. Jimmy Butler. That's right. He points at Reggie Miller and said, "I'm doing my best impression of you."
Another courtside report claimed Butler actually yelled, "You like that?" while staring down the Hall of Fame sharpshooter. This wasn't just a random gesture. Butler, who isn't known as a three-point specialist, chose his moment perfectly to pay homage to one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. Miller, now 59 years old, could only watch as Butler channeled his energy from the broadcast desk. The significance wasn't lost on anyone. Butler's 3 extended the Warriors' lead to 20 points, forcing Rockets coach Ime Udoka to call a timeout. It marked Butler's 18th point of the game. The interaction between Butler and Miller came during a game that featured dramatic momentum swings. Golden State built a substantial lead, going up by as many as 23 points at one stage. However, Houston refused to go quietly. The Rockets mounted a spirited comeback, finishing the third quarter on a 17-3 run to cut the Warriors' lead to just 9 points heading into the final frame. The score stood at 69-60 as the fourth quarter began, setting up what promised to be a tense finish. Golden State ultimately secured a 95-85 victory, successfully stealing home court advantage. Butler finished with an impressive stat line: 25 points on 10 of 19 shooting, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. His two-way performance proved crucial in the Warriors' road win. Stephen Curry led all scorers with 31 points on efficient 12 of 19 shooting, including 5 three-pointers. The duo combined for 56 points, showcasing the potential of Golden State's revamped roster. To understand why Butler's gesture toward Miller resonated so deeply, you need to know the background between these two competitive spirits. Butler and Miller have shared a unique relationship over the years. It's a complex dynamic built on respect, occasional criticism, and mutual competitive fire. Miller, now in his role as a TNT analyst, has had plenty to say about Butler's game throughout the latter's career. In 2023, Miller delivered one of his most emphatic endorsements of Butler. Following a 56-point playoff performance with the Miami Heat, Miller called it the greatest playoff performance by any Heat player ever. This wasn't faint praise. Miller ranked Butler's game above legendary performances from Dwyane Wade and LeBron James. Miller has also defended Butler during controversial moments. When Butler attempted a contested game-winning three in the 2022 conference finals and missed, drawing criticism from many corners, Miller stood firmly in Butler's corner. "You go for the kill shot when you have the moment," Miller said, defending Butler's aggressive mentality. But their relationship hasn't always been harmonious. In 2020, when Butler received a flagrant foul for crowding Chris Middleton's landing space, Miller voiced his frustration. Though Miller directed most of his criticism at the rule rather than Butler personally, the tension was evident. This back and forth over the years created the perfect backdrop for Butler's pointed gesture on Sunday night. Butler's integration with the Warriors represents one of the season's most significant midseason acquisitions. The February 6th trade deadline deal that brought Butler to Golden State provided the jolt that Curry and the Warriors needed. In just a short time, Butler has embraced his role alongside Curry, whom he's taken to calling Batman. This superhero analogy has become a recurring theme in Butler's comments about his superstar teammate. Following Sunday's victory, Butler elaborated on this dynamic in a courtside interview with TNT's Allie LaForce.
Compete and try to steal one on the road.
There was one three-point shot that Stephen made. He was like floating off in motion, and we panned over to a shot of you, and you're just shaking your head. I mean, the man continues to amaze, doesn't he?
He does. Like I always say, Batman comes out of nowhere. You never see him coming, then he just falls from the sky, from a building, behind a door, and does some incredible things, man. He's going to be the reason that we do win it all. We all know that, but we got to protect him at all costs.
Congrats on the first road win. Thanks, Jimmy.
Butler's willingness to embrace the Robin role alongside Curry's Batman speaks volumes about his championship mindset. For a player who has often been the first option, this adjustment demonstrates Butler's commitment to winning at the highest level. The six-time All-Star clearly understands that while he'll play a significant role in any potential playoff success, Golden State will ultimately go as far as Curry carries them. If Butler's gesture toward Miller was the third-quarter highlight, Curry made sure to give Miller something else to react to in the fourth. With the Rockets having cut the lead down to just 3 points late in the game, Curry delivered one of his signature momentum-shifting shots. He hit an incredible step-back three-pointer over Rockets forward Amen Thompson, considered Houston's best defensive option against Curry, to beat the shot clock. Miller's reaction from the broadcast booth captured the moment perfectly. "No way," Miller said. "I mean, that's twice with the shot clock running down." The Hall of Famer could only watch in awe as Curry continued to defy conventional basketball wisdom with his shot-making ability.